Today, we embark on a profound journey into the heart of Judaism, an ancient and multifaceted tradition that has shaped civilizations and continues to inspire millions worldwide. Our exploration will be a glimpse into a story spanning millennia, a narrative woven with profound beliefs, meaningful practices, and an enduring commitment to ethical living. From its origins in the covenant between Abraham and God, through the epic Exodus from Egypt and the revelation at Sinai, Judaism has carried a message of hope, justice, and the unwavering belief in one God. We will delve into the core tenets of this faith, exploring the significance of the Torah, the concept of tikkun olam, and the messianic ideal. The Torah, a sacred text that is both a historical account of the people of Israel and a guide for living a life of justice and compassion, will be a central focus of our discussion. We will examine the rich tradition of Jewish practice, from the observance of Shabbat and holidays to the intricacies of kashrut and the power of prayer. The Sabbath, a day of rest and renewal, is a cornerstone of Jewish observance, providing a respite from the demands of daily life and allowing for a deeper connection with family, community, and the divine. We will also discuss the importance of holidays such as Passover, Sukkot, and Hanukkah, which bring people together in celebration and gratitude. Along the way, we will acknowledge the diversity within Judaism, recognizing the different movements and interpretations that enrich and challenge our understanding of this vibrant tradition. From Orthodox to Conservative to Reform and Reconstructionist, each movement has its own unique perspective on Jewish law and tradition. This diversity is a testament to the adaptability and resilience of Judaism, allowing it to evolve and grow over time. Finally, we will consider the profound impact Judaism has had on the world, its contributions to ethics, law, and the pursuit of social justice. From its influence on Western civilization to its role in shaping modern human rights movements, Judaism has left an indelible mark on human history. This presentation is an invitation to learn, to question, and to appreciate the depth and beauty of Judaism. Let us begin our journey together. Judaism traces its origins back over 3,000 years to the ancient Israelites, who are considered descendants of the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, revered as the founding patriarch of Judaism, is a pivotal figure whose covenant with God lays the foundation for the Jewish faith. This everlasting covenant was characterized by God's promise to make Abraham the father of a great nation, establishing a relationship that emphasizes faith, obedience, and divine guidance. The narrative of the Israelites takes a dramatic turn during their period of slavery in Egypt, where they became a people bound by suffering and hardship. It is during this time that Moses emerges as a central figure in Jewish history. Through divine revelation, Moses leads the Israelites out of slavery in an event known as the Exodus. His encounter with God at Mount Sinai culminates in the giving of the Ten Commandments, which serve as fundamental principles of Jewish ethics and law. This monumental event not only marks the birth of the Jewish faith, but also reinforces the idea of a collective identity centered around a shared covenant with God. Following their liberation, the Israelites settled in the land of Canaan, a territory that becomes central to their identity and aspirations. There they established a kingdom, notably under the leadership of Kings Saul, David, and Solomon, with the latter building the first temple in Jerusalem, which became the epicenter of Jewish worship and communal life. However, this period of autonomy was not to last. The kingdom eventually fell to foreign powers, beginning a long and tumultuous history of occupation and exile. The Babylonian conquest led to the destruction of the first temple in 586 BCE and the exile of many Jews to Babylon. It was in this exile that Jewish identity began to crystallize around sacred texts and traditions, laying the groundwork for what we now recognize as Judaism. The Second Temple was later rebuilt in Jerusalem, symbolizing a brief restoration of Jewish sovereignty. However, this too met a tragic end when the Romans destroyed the Second Temple in 70 CE, leading to another significant turning point in Jewish history. Following this destruction, Jewish communities began to disperse throughout the world, a phenomenon known as the diaspora. Despite centuries of persecution, displacement, and exile, Judaism has demonstrated remarkable resilience. Throughout the ages, Jewish communities adapted to their surroundings while steadfastly maintaining core values and traditions, such as the observance of the Sabbath, the study of the Torah, and the practice of ethical behavior. The Jewish faith has persisted, evolving and responding to new challenges while holding tightly to its heritage and beliefs. This enduring spirit of adaptation, coupled with a profound commitment to community and learning, has allowed Judaism to thrive in diverse cultural contexts across the globe. Today, rather than a single monolith, Judaism reflects a rich tapestry of beliefs and practices that celebrate both continuity and change, a testament to its dynamic and enduring legacy. The Torah stands as the central and most sacred text in Judaism, serving as the cornerstone upon which Jewish faith, law, and identity are built. The Hebrew word Torah translates to teaching, instruction, or law, and its significance extends far beyond a mere collection of stories or rules. The Torah is regarded as a divine revelation, a direct communication from God to the Jewish people. To fully grasp the essence of the Torah, it is essential to recognize its dual nature, the written Torah and the oral Torah. These two components are inseparable, working in harmony to provide a comprehensive guide for Jewish life. The written Torah, also known as the Pentateuch or the 5 books of Moses, comprising Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, forms the foundational text of Judaism. Within its pages, one finds not only narratives that recount the stories of creation, the lives of the patriarchs and matriarchs, the exodus from Egypt, and the journey of the Israelites through the wilderness, but also profound moral and spiritual lessons embedded within these historical accounts. Additionally, the written Torah contains the 613 commandments, which govern various aspects of Jewish life, including religious rituals, ethical conduct, and social interactions. These commandments establish a framework for living a life imbued with holiness and righteousness. Furthermore, the written Torah includes poetry and songs that express praise, lament, and thanksgiving, reflecting the deep and dynamic relationship between God and the Jewish people. On the other hand, the oral Torah represents the body of interpretations, explanations, and traditions that have been passed down orally from generation to generation, existing alongside the written Torah. It provides essential context, clarification, and application of the written law. Many laws outlined in the written Torah are often concise, requiring further elaboration to understand and implement effectively. The oral Torah serves to clarify these laws, ensuring their proper application in daily life. Moreover, the oral Torah encompasses new laws and customs that are not explicitly mentioned in the written Torah, but are derived from it through interpretation and tradition. It also includes stories, parables, and ethical teachings that enrich our understanding of Jewish values and principles. Over time, the oral Torah was codified into written form, primarily in the Mishnah and the Talmud. These texts are studied alongside the written Torah and are essential for comprehending Jewish law and tradition. The interdependence of the written and oral Torah is crucial to understanding their significance. They are not two separate entities. Rather, they represent two complementary aspects of a single, unified revelation. The written Torah provides the foundational text, while the oral Torah offers the structure and interpretation necessary to apply its teachings to everyday life. Without the oral Torah, the written Torah would be incomplete and difficult to comprehend. In essence, the Torah, in its dual form of written and oral, is the heart and soul of Judaism. It is a living document that has guided and sustained the Jewish people for millennia. Through the study and observance of the Torah, Jews endeavor to connect with God, live ethically, and contribute to the ongoing repair of the world. The Tanakh, an acronym derived from the Hebrew words Torah, teaching, Nevi'im, prophets, and Ketuvim, writings, represents the complete Hebrew Bible and encompasses all 24 books of Jewish scripture. This sacred text is a profound embodiment of the religious, historical, ethical, and cultural dimensions of the Jewish experience. The Tanakh is not merely a collection of writings. Rather, it is an intricate tapestry that weaves together diverse narratives, teachings, and wisdom passed down through generations. At its core, The Tanakh provides a rich historical narrative that chronicles the journey of the Israelites, beginning with the creation of the world and extending through pivotal events that have shaped their identity as a people. In the opening chapters of Genesis, we encounter the stories of creation, the Garden of Eden, and the early figures of humanity, including Adam and Eve, Noah, and the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These foundational narratives establish themes of divine purpose, human agency, and the complexities of moral choice. The narrative continues with the Israelites' enslavement in Egypt, their dramatic liberation under the leadership of Moses, and the revelation at Mount Sinai, where they receive the Torah, God's covenant. This significant moment is central to the Jewish faith, highlighting themes of law, ethics, and community responsibility. The ensuing books recount the establishment of Israel as a nation, detailing the conquest of Canaan, the era of the judges, and the establishment of the monarchy under Saul, David, and Solomon. Throughout these historical accounts, the relationship between the Israelites and God is paramount, marked by both faithfulness and struggle. In addition to historical narratives, the Tanakh includes the voices of the prophets, who convey messages of divine will, warning, and guidance. These prophetic writings, such as those of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, challenge the people to seek justice, uphold ethical standards, and maintain hope amid adversity. The prophets also call for repentance and highlight the consequences of straying from the covenant, serving as a reminder of the ethical obligations inherent in the relationship between God and Israel. Alongside the prophetic literature, the Tanakh encompasses wisdom literature, such as Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, which offer sage insights into the human condition and the pursuit of a meaningful life. These texts explore themes of wisdom, folly, love, and despair, urging readers to reflect deeply on their choices and the nature of existence. The poetic books, including Psalms, provide lyrical expressions of faith, lamentation, praise, and thanksgiving, enriching both Jewish worship and personal spirituality. Psalms are often recited in prayer, evoking a sense of connection with the divine while addressing the complexities of human emotion. Another integral part of the Ketuvim is the Book of Job, a profound exploration of suffering and divine justice. Through its dialogue and dramatic structure, it challenges conventional understandings of piety and retribution, prompting readers to confront the mysteries of faith in the face of suffering. As a whole, the Tanakh serves as the foundation of Jewish life, shaping religious practice, ethical conduct, and cultural identity. Its teachings have been instrumental in forming a moral framework that guides individuals and communities in their personal and communal lives. The narratives and commandments contained within the Tanakh provide a shared heritage that fosters a sense of belonging and continuity among Jewish people throughout history. The Tanakh is not only a historical document, it is a living text that continues to inspire and inform contemporary Jewish thought and practice. Through the study and reverence of the Tanakh, Jewish individuals and communities connect with their past, sustain their beliefs, and navigate the challenges of each generation. Its narratives and teachings resonate deeply, guiding the moral compass of the Jewish people and providing a framework for understanding their relationship with God and with one another. In this way, the Tanakh remains central to Jewish identity and serves as a timeless source of wisdom and insight for all who seek to engage with its profound lessons. The Talmud, often regarded as the cornerstone of Jewish law and thought, is a vast and complex compilation of rabbinic discussions, interpretations, and legal rulings that serves as the primary source of Jewish law, ethics, and tradition. It represents the culmination of centuries of scholarly discourse and provides detailed guidance on how to apply the principles of the Torah to everyday life. At its heart, the Talmud seeks to uncover the hidden meanings and nuances of the Torah, transforming its divine precepts into practical and actionable guidelines. The oral law tradition. The Talmud is rooted in the concept of the oral law, which, according to Jewish tradition, was revealed to Moses on Mount Sinai alongside the written Torah. Unlike the written Torah, which consists of the 5 books of Moses, the oral law was initially transmitted orally from generation to generation. It included interpretations, explanations, and expansions of the written law, addressing specific situations and practical concerns that were not explicitly covered in the Torah itself. The oral law was not merely a supplement to the written law, but an integral part of the divine revelation, essential for understanding and applying the Torah's teaching. The Mishnah, a collection of legal and ethical teachings. Around the year 200 CE, Rabbi Judah Hanasi undertook the monumental task of codifying the oral law into a written compendium known as the Mishnah. The Mishnah is organized into 6 orders, Sidurim, each of which focuses on a different area of Jewish law: agriculture, festivals, family law, civil law, sacrifices, and ritual purity. It presents a systematic and comprehensive overview of Jewish law, covering a wide range of topics and providing detailed rulings on complex legal issues. While the Mishnah provides a definitive statement of Jewish law, it often presents concise and cryptic rulings that require further explanation. In the centuries following the completion of the Mishnah, generations of rabbis engaged in intensive study and analysis of its teachings, leading to the development of the Gemara. The Gemara, discussions and interpretations of the Mishnah. The Gemara is a comprehensive commentary on the Mishnah, consisting of extensive discussions, debates, and interpretations of its legal rulings. Rabbis from different academies and time periods contributed to the Gemara, engaging in rigorous analysis of the Mishnah's text and context. The Gemara is not merely a commentary, but a dynamic and multifaceted exploration of Jewish law, ethics, and theology. There are 2 versions of the Gemara: the Babylonian Talmud, Talmud Bavli, and the Jerusalem Talmud, Talmud Yerushalmi. The Babylonian Talmud, which was compiled in Babylonia, modern-day Iraq, between the 3rd and 6th centuries CE, is more extensive and authoritative than the Jerusalem Talmud, which was compiled in the land of Israel. Together, the Mishnah and the Gemara form the Talmud, a vast and intricate body of Jewish law and thought. The Talmud is studied and revered by Jews around the world, and serves as the foundation for Jewish legal decision-making and ethical conduct. In conclusion, the Talmud is not merely a legal code, but a living tradition that continues to evolve and adapt over time. Its teachings provide a framework for navigating the complexities of modern life, while remaining rooted in the wisdom and values of Jewish tradition. By studying the Talmud, individuals can deepen their understanding of Jewish law, ethics, and spirituality, and connect with the rich intellectual heritage of the Jewish people. Key beliefs and principles, the cornerstones of Jewish faith. Judaism is more than a religion. It is a comprehensive way of life, grounded in a set of core beliefs and principles that have guided the Jewish people for millennia. These fundamental tenets shape the Jewish worldview, inform ethical conduct, and inspire a deep sense of connection to God and community. Monotheism, the unwavering belief in one God. At the heart of Jewish belief lies the concept of monotheism, the unwavering conviction in the existence of one God who is eternal, omnipresent, and all-powerful. This singular God is not limited by time or space, but transcends the boundaries of human comprehension. The Shema, a central Jewish prayer, proclaims, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad," encapsulating the essence of Jewish monotheism. This belief in one God distinguishes Judaism from polytheistic traditions and emphasizes God's unique and absolute sovereignty over all creation. The covenant, a special relationship with God. Central to Judaism is the concept of a covenant, a unique and binding agreement between God and the Jewish people. The covenant, initially established with Abraham and renewed with Moses at Mount Sinai, signifies a reciprocal relationship of love, loyalty, and commitment. God promises to protect and guide the Jewish people, while the Jewish people commit to upholding God's commandments and living according to His divine law. The 10 Commandments, revealed to Moses at Sinai, serve as a tangible symbol of the covenant, outlining fundamental ethical and moral principles that guide Jewish conduct. Justice and social responsibility, ethical conduct and compassion. Judaism places a strong emphasis on ethical conduct, social justice, and caring for the less fortunate. The pursuit of justice is not merely a moral ideal, but a religious obligation, rooted in the belief that all human beings are created in God's image and deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Jewish teachings emphasize the importance of helping those in need, advocating for the oppressed, and working to create a more just and equitable society. Acts of charity, kindness, and social activism are seen as essential expressions of Jewish faith and values. Messianic hope, belief in future redemption. Judaism embraces the belief in a future redemption and the coming of the Messiah, a divinely appointed leader who will usher in an era of universal peace, justice, and harmony. The Messianic hope is not merely a passive expectation, but an active aspiration that inspires Jews to work towards a better world and to believe in the possibility of transformation. While interpretations of the Messiah and the Messianic era vary among different Jewish movements, the underlying belief in a future redemption remains a central theme in Jewish thought and practice. The coming of the Messiah is often associated with the rebuilding of the Temple in Jerusalem, the ingathering of the Jewish exiles, and the establishment of a world in which all nations recognize God's sovereignty. The concept of God, transcendent, immanent, and personal. The Jewish understanding of God is complex and multifaceted, encompassing both a profound sense of the divine's unknowable nature and a deep appreciation for God's presence and involvement in the world. This delicate balance between transcendence and immanence, coupled with the belief in a personal relationship with God, forms the core of Jewish theology and spirituality. Transcendent, beyond human comprehension. Well, in Judaism, God is understood to be transcendent, existing beyond the limits of human comprehension. God is infinite, eternal, and uncreated, surpassing any attempt to fully grasp his nature. The Torah states, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." Isaiah 55:8. This acknowledgement of God's transcendence emphasizes the limitations of human intellect in fully understanding the divine, urging humility and reverence in the face of the ultimate mystery. While we may strive to know God through study, prayer, and ethical action, we recognize that God ultimately remains beyond our complete understanding. The concept of transcendence also implies that God is not bound by time or space. God is not limited by the constraints of human existence, and his presence is not confined to a specific location or era. This understanding is reflected in the Jewish belief in the concept of ein od milvado. There is no one else besides him, which emphasizes God's uniqueness and exclusivity as the one true God. Immanent, present in all things. Despite God's transcendence, Judaism also affirms God's immanence, the belief that God is present in all things and actively involved in the world. God's presence is seen in the beauty of nature, the wonders of creation, and the miraculous events that shape human history. The concept of immanence underscores the idea that God is not a distant and detached deity, but an active participant in the unfolding drama of life. This belief is reflected in the Jewish understanding of miracles, which are seen as moments when God intervenes directly in the natural order to fulfill his divine purposes. Furthermore, the concept of immanence is closely tied to the Jewish understanding of providence, which holds that God guides and directs human events to achieve his ultimate goals. This understanding is reflected in the Hebrew Bible's account of God's involvement in human history, from the creation of the world to the redemption of Israel from slavery in Egypt. The Jewish concept of providence also encompasses the idea that God is actively involved in guiding individuals throughout their lives, providing them with opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Personal, a relationship with each individual. Judaism emphasizes the idea that God has a personal relationship with each individual, recognizing the unique value and worth of every human being. God is not merely a distant and impersonal force, but a loving and compassionate presence who cares deeply about the well-being of each person. This belief in a personal relationship with God is expressed through prayer and ritual, where individuals can communicate directly with the divine, expressing their hopes, fears, and gratitude. Through prayer, individuals can seek guidance, forgiveness, and strength, deepening their connection with God and finding solace in his presence. This personal relationship also entails a moral responsibility to act in accordance with God's will, striving to live a life of righteousness and compassion. The Jewish concept of Avinu, our Father, emphasizes this personal aspect of God's relationship with humanity, underscoring God's role as a loving parent who cares for his children. In conclusion, the Jewish concept of God encompasses both transcendence and immanence, highlighting God's unknowable nature and his active involvement in the world. The concept of a personal relationship with each individual underscores God's loving and compassionate presence in human life, emphasizing our moral responsibility to act in accordance with his will. The role of mitzvot, divine commands and the framework for Jewish life. Mitzvot, the commandments prescribed in Judaism, play a pivotal role in shaping the spiritual and ethical fabric of Jewish life. Derived from the Hebrew word for commandment, mitzvah encapsulates the responsibilities and obligations that God has set forth for the Jewish people. These divine commands are rooted in the Torah and further elaborated upon through rabbinic interpretations, emphasizing the significance of adhering to God's will as a fundamental aspect of Jewish identity. Divine commands, a sacred relationship with God. Mitzvot are seen as direct commands from God, and they serve as a means of establishing a sacred relationship between the divine and the Jewish people. The commandments encompass 613 specific directives, which are divided into two primary categories: positive commandments, what one should do, and negative commandments, what one should refrain from doing. These commandments reflect divine expectations and moral principles that guide the daily conduct of individuals and communities. The mitzvot are not merely rules to be followed. Rather, they are expressions of a covenantal relationship between God and Israel. By observing the commandments, Jews reaffirm their commitment to God and their identity as members of a distinct spiritual community. Mitzvot serve as tangible acts of faith that deepen one's connection to the divine and strengthen the collective identity of the Jewish people. Living a Jewish life, a comprehensive framework. Mitzvot cover a wide range of areas and aspects of life, encompassing religious, ethical, and social dimensions. The observance of these commandments provides a comprehensive framework for living a Jewish life, guiding individuals in their relationships with God, themselves, and others. In terms of religious observance, mitzvot include daily prayers, blessings, and rituals that facilitate a personal connection with God. The requirement to pray 3 times a day exemplifies a commitment to maintaining an ongoing dialogue with the divine. Additionally, specific rituals, such as observing the Sabbath, Shabbat, and celebrating Jewish holidays, serve to sanctify time and reinforce communal bond. Dietary laws, known as kashrut, constitute another essential aspect of mitzvot. These laws guide what is permissible to eat and how food should be prepared, creating a spiritual and ethical framework for consumption that emphasizes mindfulness and responsibility. Understanding these laws fosters a sense of discipline and intentionality in daily life, reflecting a broader commitment to observing God's commandments. Charity and acts of kindness, expressed through tzedakah and gemalut chasadim, are also fundamental mitzvot that underscore the Jewish commitment to social justice and the well-being of the community. The obligation to assist those in need and work toward a more just society is rooted in the belief that every individual has inherent worth and should be treated with dignity. Through mitzvot, Judaism encourages ethical behavior and social responsibility, guiding individuals to act justly and compassionately in their interactions with others. The interconnectedness of the mitzvot fosters a holistic approach to life, where personal spiritual growth is inextricably linked to communal well-being. In summary, the role of mitzvot in Judaism extends beyond mere obedience to divine commands. It encompasses a dynamic and holistic framework for living a meaningful Jewish life. Through the observance of these commandments, Jews engage in a sacred relationship with God, embodying their faith and values in both their personal lives and their interactions with the broader community. Mitzvot serve as a guidepost for ethical action, spiritual growth, and the collective pursuit of justice and righteousness in the world. The concept of the Messiah, redemption, restoration, and a vision of universal harmony. The concept of the Messiah, Moshiach, is a central and deeply resonant theme within Jewish eschatology, representing not only the hope for a future Redeemer, but also a transformative vision of world peace, justice, and spiritual fulfillment. The belief in the Messiah and the Messianic age serves as a powerful source of inspiration and aspiration, guiding Jewish thought and action toward a better future for all humanity. While interpretations of the Messiah and the Messianic age vary across different Jewish traditions, the core principles of redemption, restoration, and universal harmony remain central to this enduring belief. Redemption, the overcoming of suffering and evil. At its most fundamental level, the concept of the Messiah symbolizes redemption, the overcoming of suffering, evil, and injustice in the world. The Messiah is envisioned as a divinely appointed leader who will emerge to liberate humanity from its current state of turmoil, ushering in an era of peace and prosperity for all. The Messianic age is characterized by the absence of war, poverty, and oppression, as well as the healing of physical and spiritual ailments. This redemptive vision provides hope and encouragement in the face of the challenges and hardships of life, reminding Jews that a brighter future is possible. Messianic age, a time of peace, justice, and harmony. The Messianic age is conceived as a transformative era marked by universal peace, justice, and harmony among all nations. The prophet Isaiah eloquently describes this time, stating, "They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more." Isaiah 2:4. This vision of a world without war, conflict, or hatred underscores the Jewish commitment to pursuing peace and reconciliation as essential values. In the Messianic age, all people will recognize God's sovereignty, and the world will be filled with knowledge of the divine. Gathering of the exiles, a return to the land of Israel. Another key aspect of the Messianic vision is the gathering of the exiles, the return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel, and the restoration of their political sovereignty. The Hebrew Bible repeatedly promises the return of the Jewish people to their ancestral homeland after centuries of dispersion and persecution. The establishment of the modern state of Israel in 1948 is viewed by many as a partial fulfillment of this prophecy. Though the complete ingathering of the exiles is still believed to be a future event that will occur during the Messianic age, the return to the land of Israel symbolizes a restoration of Jewish national identity and the reestablishment of a Jewish homeland where Jewish culture and values can flourish. Reconstruction of the temple, a symbol of spiritual and national unity. Finally, the concept of the Messiah is often associated with the rebuilding of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, which serves as a symbol of spiritual and national unity. The temple, which stood in Jerusalem for centuries, was the central place of worship and pilgrimage for the Jewish people, serving as a physical manifestation of God's presence in the world. The destruction of the temple in 70 CE was a traumatic event in Jewish history, symbolizing the loss of national independence and spiritual connection. The rebuilding of the temple in the Messianic age represents a restoration of Jewish spiritual vitality and a renewed covenant between God and the Jewish people. In conclusion, the concept of the Messiah is a multifaceted and deeply meaningful aspect of Jewish belief, embodying the hope for a future redemption, the restoration of Jewish national identity, and the establishment of a world characterized by peace, justice, and spiritual fulfillment. While interpretations of the Messiah and the Messianic age may vary, the core principles of transformation, unity, and divine purpose remain central to this enduring vision. Sabbath and holidays, sacred time in Jewish life. Sabbath, Shabbat, and the Jewish holidays are integral to Jewish life, providing dedicated times for rest, reflection, remembrance, and celebration. These sacred occasions serve to interrupt the routine of daily life, offering opportunities for spiritual renewal, communal bonding, and the reaffirmation of Jewish values and identity. Through observance of Sabbath and the holidays, Jews connect with their history, traditions, and the divine presence in the world. Sabbath, a day of rest and spiritual reflection. Sabbath, Shabbat, is a weekly day of rest and spiritual reflection, observed from Friday evening to Saturday evening. Rooted in the biblical account of creation, where God rested on the seventh day after creating the world, Shabbat is a time for Jews to abstain from work, engage in prayer and study, and spend quality time with family and community. The observance of Shabbat includes refraining from 39 categories of prohibited activities, melachot, which encompass various forms of labor and creative work. Instead, Jews are encouraged to engage in activities that promote spiritual growth, such as attending synagogue services, studying Torah, and spending time in nature. Shabbat is traditionally marked by special meals, including the lighting of candles on Friday evening, the recitation of blessings over wine and bread, Kiddush and Challah, and the singing of Shabbat songs, Zemaro. These rituals create a peaceful and joyous atmosphere, transforming the home into a sanctuary of rest and spirituality. Sabbath is not merely a day off from work, but a time for spiritual rejuvenation and reconnection with God, family, and community. By abstaining from worldly pursuits, Jews can focus on what truly matters in life, reaffirming their commitment to Jewish values and tradition. Passover, commemorating liberation from slavery. Passover, Pesach, is an 8-day festival commemorating the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt. It is one of the most important and widely observed holidays in the Jewish calendar, filled with ritual, tradition, and historical significance. The centerpiece of Passover is the Seder, a festive meal that takes place on the first night of the holiday and the second night in some communities. During the Seder, participants retell the story of the Exodus from Egypt using a special book called the Haggadah. The Haggadah guides participants through a series of rituals, prayers, and songs that commemorate the events of the Exodus, including the 10 plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, and the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. Central to the Seder is the consumption of symbolic foods that represent different aspects of the Exodus story, such as matzah, unleavened bread, maror, bitter herbs, and kereset, a sweet paste made of fruits and nuts. These foods serve as tactile reminders of the suffering and liberation experienced by the Israelites. Throughout Passover, Jews abstain from eating chametz, leavened bread, and other grain products, symbolizing the haste with which the Israelites left Egypt. The home is thoroughly cleaned to remove any traces of chametz, and special Passover dishes are used during the holiday. Passover is a time for reflection, gratitude, and renewal, reminding Jews of the importance of freedom, justice, and compassion. Hanukkah, celebrating the rededication of the temple. Hanukkah, also known as the Festival of Lights, is an 8-day holiday celebrating the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem in the 2nd century BCE. Hanukkah commemorates the victory of the Maccabees, a small group of Jewish rebels, over the oppressive Seleucid Empire, which had desecrated the temple and sought to suppress Jewish religious practices. According to tradition, when the Maccabees rededicated the temple, they found only enough consecrated oil to light the menorah, a 7-branched candelabrum, for one day. Miraculously, the oil lasted for 8 days, allowing the Maccabees to rededicate the temple and restore Jewish worship. In commemoration of this miracle, Jews light a special 9-branched candelabrum, called a Hanukkah, each night of Hanukkah, adding 1 candle each night until all 8 candles are lit on the final night. The 9th candle, called the Shamash, is used to light the other candles. During Hanukkah, it is customary to eat foods fried in oil, such as lax, potato pancakes, and sufganiyot, jelly-filled donuts, symbolizing the miracle of the oil. Children play with dreidels, spinning tops, and receive Hanukkah gelt, money. Hanukkah is a time for celebrating Jewish resilience, religious freedom, and the triumph of light over darkness. It is a joyful holiday filled with family, friends, and festive traditions. Dietary laws and kashrut, understanding the principles of kosher. Dietary laws, known as kashrut, constitute an essential aspect of Jewish life, guiding the dietary practices of observant Jews. The term kosher, meaning fit or proper, refers to foods that are permissible for consumption according to these laws. Kashrut encompasses a wide range of rules and guidelines aimed at promoting spiritual mindfulness, holiness, and a sense of identity within the Jewish community. Kosher, dietary laws, and permissible foods. The foundation of kashrut is derived from biblical text, as outlined primarily in the Torah. These dietary laws dictate which foods are permissible for Jews to consume and include various categories such as meat, dairy, fish, and produce. Some key principles of kosher dietary laws include animal sources. Only certain animals are considered kosher. For an animal to be kosher, it must both chew its cud and have split hooves, which limits acceptable animals primarily to ruminants like cows and sheep. Additionally, kosher birds are specified, while most birds of prey are prohibited. Slaughtering practices. Kosher meat must come from an animal that has been slaughtered according to specific ritual practices known as shechita. This method is designed to minimize suffering and ensure the meat is considered appropriate for consumption. Additionally, the blood of the animal must be properly drained and prohibited, as consuming blood is forbidden in kosher law. Fish and seafood. Fish must have fins and scales to be deemed kosher, which excludes shellfish, eels, and other non-kosher seafood. Separate utensils. The importance of distinction. One of the central tenets of kashrut is the separation of meat and dairy products. To comply with this principle, observant Jews maintain separate sets of utensils, dishes, and cookware for meat and dairy foods. This practice reflects the biblical injunction not to boil a kid in its mother's milk, which has been interpreted to mean that meat and dairy products should not be mixed in terms of consumption or preparation. Having distinct utensils ensures that there is no cross-contamination between meat and dairy, reinforcing a sense of discipline and mindfulness around dietary practices. This separation extends to all aspects of food preparation, from serving dishes to cooking appliances. No mixing the prohibition on meat and dairy together. The prohibition against eating meat and dairy together is a fundamental aspect of kashrut. This extends not only to the physical consumption of meat and dairy in a single meal, but also to the traces of one food affecting the other. For instance, if a meat utensil has been used, it should not come into contact with dairy products and vice versa. Observant Jews carefully plan their meals to ensure that meat and dairy are consumed at separate times, often waiting a specified period after eating one before consuming the other. This practice emphasizes the spiritual significance of food and the intention behind dietary choices. Supervision. The role of kosher certification. To ensure that food is consistent with kashrut, many observant Jews rely on kosher certification provided by recognized rabbinical authorities. Foods labeled as kosher undergo a process of supervision to verify their adherence to dietary laws, covering various aspects from ingredient sourcing to preparation methods. Products that receive a kosher certification typically bear a symbol on their packaging, indicating that the food meets the necessary kosher standard. This certification covers a broad range of items, from packaged goods to restaurant offerings, providing consumers with confidence in their dietary choices. Kosher certification also extends to restaurants and catering services, ensuring that the food served meets the expectations of kashrut. Many establishments take pride in being kosher certified, appealing to the needs of observant Jewish clientele and anyone seeking to adhere to these dietary laws. Conclusion. The spiritual and cultural significance of kashrut. The dietary laws of kashrut encompass much more than simply determining what foods are permissible to eat. They reflect a deeper spiritual commitment to holiness, mindfulness, and ethical living. For observant Jews, adhering to these laws fosters a heightened awareness of the food they consume and reinforces their connection to Jewish tradition and community. By embracing the principles of kashrut, individuals cultivate a lifestyle rooted in values of discipline, compassion, and respect for creation. Bar and bat mitzvah. Marking the passage to adulthood in Jewish tradition, the bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies represent a profound milestone in the life of a Jewish child, marking their transition from childhood to adulthood within the framework of Jewish law and tradition. These coming-of-age celebrations are imbued with both religious and social significance, symbolizing a pivotal moment when young Jews embrace greater responsibility for their spiritual development and active participation in the Jewish community. Coming of age, a threshold of responsibility. The bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies signify a young person's entry into adulthood within the Jewish faith. This transition is not merely ceremonial. It recognizes the individual's increasing capacity for religious observance, ethical decision-making, and communal engagement. Jewish law traditionally identifies specific ages at which young people are considered adults: 13 for boys, bar mitzvah, and 12 for girls, bat mitzvah. This designation reflects a time when individuals are deemed capable of understanding and fulfilling the commandments, mitzvot, outlined in Jewish law, paving the way for their responsibilities as active members of the Jewish community. Bar mitzvah, assuming adult responsibilities. The term bar mitzvah, meaning son of the commandment, signifies that a young man at the age of 13 becomes obligated to observe the mitzvot of the Torah. In most congregations, the bar mitzvah ceremony occurs during a Shabbat service, where the young man is called to the Torah for an aliyah, a blessing that acknowledges his new status. Central to the bar mitzvah celebration is the reading from the Torah scroll, which showcases the young man's ability to engage with the sacred text and his connection to Jewish tradition. In addition to this reading, the bar mitzvah typically leads prayers, delivers a speech reflecting on Jewish teachings or personal insights, and participates in various elements of the synagogue service. This experience not only serves as a rite of passage, but also as a moment of communal celebration, where family and friends gather to support the young man's newfound responsibilities. Bat mitzvah, embracing Jewish womanhood. The term bat mitzvah, meaning daughter of the commandment, represents a young woman's coming of age within the Jewish community. Although the bat mitzvah ceremony has evolved over the years and varies among different Jewish movements, it generally signifies the young woman's growing involvement in Jewish life and her commitment to upholding Jewish values. In many congregations, the bat mitzvah ceremony occurs during a Shabbat or holiday service, where the young woman may have the opportunity to read from the Torah, lead prayers, deliver a thoughtful speech, or engage in other service components. The specific customs and traditions associated with the bat mitzvah will often depend on the practices of the community and the family's personal preferences. In recent decades, the prominence of the bat mitzvah ceremony has increased significantly, reflecting a broader acknowledgement of women's roles and contributions in Jewish religious life. Religious and social significance. Becoming a full member of the community. The bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies hold immense religious and social significance for both the young individuals and their families. These ceremonies mark the formal induction of young people into the adult Jewish community, representing their ability to fully participate in religious life and embrace the responsibilities that come with it. Upon becoming a bar or bat mitzvah, young people are counted in the minyan, the quorum of 10 adults required for certain prayers, become eligible to lead prayers and services, and are expected to continue their Jewish education. They are also encouraged to engage actively in acts of charity, tzedakah, social justice, and community service, embodying the Jewish values of compassion and responsibility. This emphasis on community service reinforces the idea that becoming an adult in the Jewish tradition involves not only personal growth, but also a commitment to serving others and contributing positively to the world. The bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies represent more than just the culmination of childhood. They signify the beginning of a lifelong journey of learning, growth, and service within the Jewish community. These moments serve as powerful reminders of the enduring traditions, values, and responsibilities that unite the Jewish people, fostering a sense of belonging and connection that transcends generations. By embracing their roles as committed members of the Jewish community, young people carry forward the rich heritage of their faith, while contributing to its ongoing vitality and relevance. Synagogue and worship. The heart of Jewish religious life. The synagogue serves as much more than just a physical structure. It embodies the spiritual and communal heart of Jewish religious life. Acting as a center for prayer, study, and community gathering, the synagogue plays a vital role in fostering a sense of belonging and continuity within the Jewish community. It is here that individuals come together to engage in worship, learn from sacred texts, and support one another through shared experiences and values. Place of worship, a hub of spiritual and community life. In Judaism, the synagogue is regarded as a sacred space where individuals can connect with the divine and with one another. Unlike some religious traditions that may emphasize individual worship, the synagogue is fundamentally a community-oriented institution. It serves as a gathering place for various activities, including regular worship services, educational programs, life cycle events such as weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, and funerals, and social gatherings. The architecture of a synagogue often reflects its significance. Many synagogues feature an ark, Aron Kodesh, that houses the Torah scrolls, a central focus during worship. The presence of the ark is a powerful reminder of the importance of the Torah in Jewish life. Additionally, the layout of the synagogue may emphasize the idea of community, with seating typically arranged to foster interaction and engagement among congregants. Prayer and study. A dynamic spiritual experience. Worship services at the synagogue are characterized by a blend of traditional prayers, Torah readings, and interpretive sermons. These elements come together to create a dynamic spiritual experience that connects participants to their Jewish history, tradition, and communal identity. Services often include the recitation of the Shema, a declaration of faith, and the Amidah, a series of central prayers that express gratitude, supplication, and praise. Torah readings, which occur weekly during the Shabbat service, are a cornerstone of worship. Through these readings, congregants engage with the words of the Torah, reflecting on their meaning and relevance to contemporary life. The practice of Aliyah, where individuals are called to the Torah to recite blessings, reinforces the communal aspect of worship by involving members of the congregation in the service. Sermons, often delivered by the rabbi, provide interpretive insights into the Torah portion and relate it to current events, ethical dilemmas, and personal growth. These teachings encourage congregants to reflect on their lives and consider how they can apply Jewish values and principles in their day-to-day experiences. Spiritual leadership, guiding the congregation. Rabbis play a pivotal role in the life of the synagogue, serving as spiritual leaders, educators, and interpreters of Jewish law and practice. They guide the congregation in worship-led services and deliver sermons that inspire and provoke thought. Beyond their role in worship, rabbis provide religious instruction through classes and study sessions, fostering a culture of ongoing learning within the community. One of the rabbi's essential functions is to help community members navigate the complexities of Jewish law, halakha, in contemporary contexts. Rabbis offer guidance on matters ranging from personal relationships to ethical concerns, helping congregants apply traditional teachings to the challenges and realities of modern life. In this way, they serve as a bridge between ancient wisdom and contemporary situations, ensuring that Jewish tradition remains relevant and accessible. Additionally, rabbis often take on pastoral roles, providing support and guidance during life's significant moments, whether joyful or challenging. From officiating at weddings and bar bat mitzvahs to providing comfort during times of illness or loss, their presence fosters a sense of community and belonging among congregants. Conclusion. The synagogue as a vital force in Jewish life. In conclusion, the synagogue represents the spiritual and communal heart of Jewish religious life, fostering connections among individuals and with the divine. It serves as a hub for prayer, study, and social engagement, creating an environment where the values and teachings of Judaism can flourish. Through dynamic worship services, the ongoing study of Torah, and the guidance of knowledgeable rabbis, the synagogue nurtures a vibrant community that carries forward the rich traditions and ethical teachings of Judaism, ensuring their relevance and vitality for future generations. Rabbis and religious leadership, guiding the Jewish community. Rabbis serve as essential figures within the Jewish community, acting as spiritual leaders, teachers, and interpreters of Jewish law and tradition. Their roles extend beyond mere religious oversight. They embody a commitment to guiding their congregants through the complexities of life, fostering a deep understanding of Jewish teachings, and shaping the community's spiritual and ethical direction. Religious authority, interpreters of Jewish law. As spiritual leaders, rabbis hold significant religious authority within the Jewish community. Trained extensively in Jewish law, halakha, ethics, and theology, They are tasked with interpreting the vast depth of Jewish texts, including the Torah, Talmud, and various legal codes. Their scholarship equips them to address contemporary issues and dilemmas, ensuring that tradition remains a living guide for modern life. Rabbis often engage in ongoing study and discussion with other scholars, continually refining their understanding of texts and their relevance to daily practice. Their authority is not merely derived from their academic knowledge, but also from their ability to apply these teachings in ways that resonate with the experiences and needs of their community. This interpretation can encompass a range of topics, from ritual observance to moral challenges, helping congregants navigate the complexities of Jewish law in their lives. Community leaders, guiding and supporting congregants. Beyond their spiritual and academic roles, rabbis serve as community leaders who provide guidance, support, and mentorship to members of their congregations. They are often the first point of contact for individuals seeking advice on personal, religious, or ethical matters. In this capacity, rabbis foster a sense of community by being accessible, compassionate, and supportive. Rabbis lead and participate in various community activities, such as educational programs, social justice initiatives, and communal celebrations. By participating in these dimensions of communal life, they help strengthen bonds among congregants and create an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and heard. Rabbis also serve as mediators in disputes and as counselors during difficult times, providing spiritual and emotional support when it is most needed. Study and scholarship, deep understanding of Jewish texts. Central to a rabbi's role is a profound commitment to study and scholarship. Through rigorous education, often including several years at rabbinical school, rabbis develop a comprehensive understanding of Jewish texts, laws, and traditions. This foundation is crucial for their effectiveness as leaders and teachers. Rabbis engage in lifelong learning, continuously exploring Jewish philosophy, history, and ethical teachings. They may write scholarly articles, deliver lectures, and participate in interfaith dialogues, contributing to the broader discourse on Jewish thought and practice. Their scholarship not only enhances their own understanding, but also enriches the spiritual life of their congregations by offering fresh insights into age-old teaching. In addition to formal education, personal study and reflection play a key role in a rabbi's spiritual development. This dedication to learning fosters a deep connection with Jewish texts, allowing them to evoke relevant interpretations that resonate with contemporary congregants. Conclusion: the essential role of rabbis in Judaism. In summary, rabbis are vital to the fabric of Jewish life, serving as interpreters of religious authority, community leaders, and scholars. Their ability to navigate the complexities of Jewish law, while providing guidance and support to their congregants, underscores their significant role in Jewish communities. By fostering a culture of study, engagement, and ethical living, rabbis ensure the ongoing vibrancy of Jewish tradition, helping their congregations thrive amid the challenges and opportunities of modern life. Their leadership not only enriches the spiritual experiences of individuals, but also strengthens the collective identity of the Jewish community as a whole. Sects and denominations. The diversity of Jewish practice. Judaism is not a monolithic religion. It encompasses a rich tapestry of beliefs, practices, and traditions that have evolved over time and adapted to the changing socio-cultural landscape. This diversity is reflected in the various sects and denominations of Judaism, each offering unique interpretations of Jewish law and tradition. Major movements include Orthodox Judaism, Conservative Judaism, Reform Judaism, and Reconstructionist Judaism. Each of these branches has distinct beliefs and practices that address the relationship between Jewish tradition and contemporary life. Orthodox Judaism, commitment to traditional interpretations. Orthodox Judaism is characterized by its adherence to traditional interpretations of Jewish law, halakha, and practice. This movement holds that the Torah and the oral law, as interpreted by rabbinic authorities, are divinely inspired and unchangeable. Within Orthodoxy, there are various subgroups, including Modern Orthodoxy and Haredi, or Ultra-Orthodox Judaism, each with its approach to engagement with the modern world. Orthodox Jews observe a wide range of religious practices, including strict adherence to dietary laws, kashrut, observance of the Sabbath, daily prayers, and the wearing of specific religious garments like the yarmulke, kippah, and tzitzit. Education plays a central role, with many Orthodox communities establishing yeshivas and other institutions to ensure the rigorous study of Jewish texts. While some Orthodox groups may engage with modernity, the core belief in the sanctity of traditional practices often leads to a sense of separation from broader societal trends that conflict with their worldview. Conservative Judaism, balancing tradition and modern adaptation. Conservative Judaism emerged in the late 19th century as a response to the perceived extremes of both Orthodox and Reform Judaism. This movement seeks to balance the preservation of traditional Jewish practices with the need for modern adaptations. Conservative Judaism acknowledges the authority of Jewish law but accepts that it can evolve and adapt to changing circumstances. Conservative congregations often follow traditional practices in worship and observance, while allowing for interpretations that reflect contemporary values. For instance, women may be allowed to participate more fully in religious rituals, and there is an emphasis on the importance of education and communal involvement in decision-making processes. The conservative movement also emphasizes the study of Hebrew and the importance of connecting individuals with their Jewish heritage. Many conservative congregations place a strong focus on education, encouraging members to engage in lifelong learning about Jewish texts and traditions. Reform Judaism, emphasis on ethical traditions and personal interpretation. Reform Judaism is one of the most progressive branches of Judaism, prioritizing individual autonomy, ethical principles, and social justice over strict adherence to traditional practices. It emerged in the early 19th century as Jewish communities responded to the challenges of modernity and sought to adapt Jewish practice to align with contemporary values. Reform Jews emphasize ethical imperatives such as justice, compassion, and social responsibility, often framing their observances around the moral teachings of Judaism. They support personal interpretation of Jewish texts and laws, encouraging individuals to engage with their heritage in ways that resonate with their own beliefs and experiences. Worship services in Reform congregations often incorporate contemporary language, music, and themes, making them accessible and relatable to the broader community. While many Reform congregations observe traditional holidays and rituals, they may also adapt them to emphasize their ethical messages. Reconstructionist Judaism, an evolving religious civilization. Reconstructionist Judaism, founded in the early 20th century by Rabbi Mordecai Kaplan, views Judaism as an evolving religious civilization rather than an immutable tradition. This movement posits that Jewish culture, history, and community practices should inform the development of Jewish identity and practice. Reconstructionist Jews emphasize democratic decision-making within the community and prioritize inclusivity and diversity. They believe that while the Jewish tradition provides valuable wisdom, it should evolve alongside modern sensibilities and values. This perspective allows for the integration of contemporary ethical concerns and social justice initiatives into the practice of Judaism. Worship and rituals within Reconstructionist Judaism often blend traditional elements with innovative practices, allowing for personal expressions of spirituality while maintaining a strong connection to Jewish heritage. The movement encourages community members to engage actively with their culture and history, fostering a dynamic and participatory approach to Jewish life. Conclusion: embracing diversity in Jewish practice. In conclusion, the diversity of Jewish sects and denominations reflects the ongoing dialogue between tradition and modernity, individual autonomy and communal obligation. Each movement offers distinct perspectives on Jewish law and practice, addressing the unique challenges and opportunities faced by Jewish communities today. This rich tapestry of beliefs allows Jews to find their place within the broader narrative of Jewish history, fostering a vibrant and evolving tradition that continues to resonate with individuals and communities around the world. Anti-Semitism and the Holocaust, a historical perspective on trauma and resilience. Anti-Semitism, an age-old form of discrimination and hatred directed against Jews, has manifested in various forms throughout history, from social exclusion and economic restrictions to violent pogroms and brutal genocides. This pervasive prejudice has inflicted profound suffering on Jewish communities. The most devastating and horrific expression of anti-Semitism was the Holocaust, or Shoah, during World War II, which resulted in the systematic extermination of 6 million Jews and left an indelible mark on Jewish identity and consciousness. History of prejudice. Understanding anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is rooted in deep-seated prejudices, stereotypes, and misinformation about Jews, often perpetuated by cultural, religious, and political narratives that characterize Jews as outsiders or scapegoats for societal problems. Historical factors contributing to anti-Semitism include religious tensions, economic competition, and political scapegoating. In medieval Europe, Jews were frequently accused of being responsible for the death of Jesus, leading to centuries of persecution and violence. This period also saw the establishment of discriminatory laws and practices that marginalized Jewish communities. Economic restrictions often forced Jews into specific professions, such as money lending, which further fueled negative stereotypes and animosity. During the 19th and 20th centuries, modern anti-Semitism emerged, characterized by pseudoscientific racial theories that categorized Jews as inferior. This form of anti-Semitism laid the groundwork for social and political movements that sought to eliminate Jewish presence and influence in Europe. Shoah, the Holocaust as systematic genocide. The Holocaust represents the apotheosis of anti-Semitism, during which Nazi Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, orchestrated the systematic genocide of European Jews. From 1941 to 1945, approximately 6 million Jews were murdered as part of a broader campaign of extermination that targeted not only Jews but also other marginalized groups, including Romani people, disabled individuals, political dissidents, and LGBTQ individuals. The Nazis implemented their genocidal policies through a well-organized structure that included concentration camps, extermination camps, ghettos, and mass shootings. The use of technology and bureaucratic processes to facilitate mass murder marked an unprecedented level of cruelty and efficiency in the execution of genocide. The Holocaust was not only a physical extermination, but also an attack on Jewish identity, culture, and spirituality. The profound loss of life and heritage has left an unspeakable void in Jewish history, and the moral implications of the Holocaust have galvanized global conversations about human rights, tolerance, and the responsibility to combat discrimination. Legacy of trauma. Impact on Jewish communities. The Holocaust legacy extends far beyond its immediate aftermath. It has left an indelible trauma on Jewish communities worldwide. Survivors of the Holocaust and their descendants grapple with the psychological effects of their experiences, often manifesting as collective memory, grief, and a profound sense of loss. The question of what it means to be Jewish in a post-Holocaust world continues to shape Jewish identity, culture, and spirituality. In addition to its personal and communal impact, the Holocaust has fueled a commitment to social justice and human rights among Jewish communities. The principles established during the aftermath of the Holocaust serve as a call to action against discrimination and oppression in all forms. Jewish organizations actively work to combat anti-Semitism, promote tolerance, and advocate for the rights of marginalized groups. The remembrance of the Holocaust has also led to the establishment of annual commemorative practices, such as Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, where communities honor the victims and reflect on the lessons learned from this dark chapter in history. Education about the Holocaust is emphasized in schools, museums, and cultural institutions, ensuring that future generations recognize the dangers of hatred and prejudice. The legacy of the Holocaust serves as a reminder of the fragility of liberty, the necessity for vigilance in the face of rising anti-Semitism, and the importance of promoting understanding, acceptance, and human rights. It challenges individuals and communities to confront their own biases and take actionable steps to foster inclusivity and compassion. Conclusion: a continuing journey of memory and resilience. In conclusion, the history of anti-Semitism and the Holocaust is a somber reminder of humanity's capacity for hatred and violence. However, it also highlights the resilience and strength of Jewish communities in the face of unimaginable adversity. The commitment to remember the past, educate future generations, and promote social justice remains a vital part of Jewish identity and contributes to the ongoing struggle against anti-Semitism and all forms of discrimination. By confronting history and learning from it, individuals and societies can work toward a future rooted in empathy, respect, and justice for all. Jewish identity and culture, a rich heritage, community, and values. Jewish identity and culture are deeply intertwined, shaped by centuries of religious practices, cultural expressions, community engagement, and a commitment to social justice. Together, these elements create a vibrant and dynamic framework that defines what it means to be Jewish in a contemporary context. At the heart of Jewish identity lies a rich tapestry of religious practices that connect individuals to their faith, history, and community. Observance of rituals, holidays, and dietary laws plays a significant role in this connection. Jewish rituals encompass a wide range of life cycle events, including Brit Milah, circumcision, bar and bat mitzvahs, weddings, and mourning practices, each carrying deep spiritual significance and reinforcing communal values and obligations. The Jewish calendar is filled with holidays that mark significant historical events and agricultural cycles. Major holidays include Shabbat, a weekly day of rest and spiritual reflection observed from Friday evening to Saturday evening, which emphasizes the importance of rest and connection with family and community. Another significant holiday is Passover, Pesach, which commemorates the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt and is celebrated with the Seder meal, where families retell the Exodus story. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, is marked by fasting and introspection as individuals reflect on their actions and seek forgiveness for the past year. Dietary laws, known as kashrut, guide food choices and preparation, promoting mindfulness and discipline in daily life. Observing these traditions cultivates a sense of belonging and continuity, connecting individuals with their ancestors and the broader Jewish community. Jewish culture is rich and diverse, encompassing various forms of music, literature, art, and cuisine that reflect Jewish heritage. Jewish music spans from liturgical traditions, sung in synagogues, to folk songs and contemporary interpretations that express Jewish identity. Klezmer music, in particular, embodies lively melodies and celebratory themes, gaining popularity worldwide. Jewish literature, ranging from sacred texts like the Torah and Talmud to modern works by notable authors like Shalom Aleichem, Isaac Bashevis Singer, and Amos Oz, captures the complexities of Jewish life and culture. The artistic expressions of Jewish heritage are also significant, with artists contributing to diverse movements and creating works that explore themes of faith, memory, and identity. This includes traditional art forms, such as ceremonial objects, as well as contemporary pieces reflecting current social issues. Cuisine is another integral aspect of Jewish culture, showcasing diversity and regional influences. Traditional foods like challah, gefilte fish, and matzah ball soup serve as expressions of cultural heritage, playing essential roles in holiday celebrations and communal gatherings. The Jewish community plays a pivotal role in shaping identity and fostering a sense of belonging. Synagogues, community centers, and educational institutions serve as gathering places for worship, learning, and social interaction. This sense of community is characterized by mutual support, shared values, and collective responsibility. Members often engage in organized activities such as volunteerism, social events, and educational programs, reinforcing connections with one another and with the broader Jewish heritage. The concept of tikkun olam, repairing the world, emphasizes the community's responsibility to contribute positively to society, cultivating a sense of interconnectedness. A key aspect of Jewish identity is the commitment to social justice and advocacy for the rights of all people. Rooted in the teachings of the Torah, Jewish ethical precepts call for the pursuit of justice, compassion for the vulnerable, and active engagement in the fight against oppression. Jewish organizations and individuals often find themselves at the forefront of social justice movements, advocating for issues such as civil rights, immigration reform, poverty alleviation, and environmental sustainability. The Jewish principle of chesed, loving kindness, motivates acts of charity, or tzedakah, and community service, reinforcing the moral obligation to care for those in need. This dedication to social justice is not only an expression of Jewish values, it also forms connections between the Jewish community and broader movements advocating for human rights and dignity. The legacy of historical struggles against anti-Semitism informs a commitment to allyship with other marginalized communities, amplifying collective efforts toward a just and equitable society. In conclusion, Jewish identity and culture are characterized by a rich interplay of religious practices, cultural expressions, community engagement, and social justice advocacy. Together, these elements create a vibrant and resilient identity that continues to evolve while remaining rooted in timeless values. Through dedicated observance, cultural celebration, a strong sense of community, and a commitment to justice, Jewish individuals and communities affirm their place in the broader narrative of humanity, ensuring that their heritage remains vibrant for generations to come. Significant Jewish figures shaping history and culture. Throughout history, countless individuals of Jewish descent have made indelible contributions to various fields, leaving a lasting impact on science, politics, arts, and culture. These figures embody the values, resilience, and intellectual curiosity that have long characterized the Jewish people. From Albert Einstein's groundbreaking scientific theories to Golda Meir's leadership in establishing the State of Israel and Steven Spielberg's influential filmmaking, these individuals represent a diverse range of achievements that have shaped our world. Albert Einstein, revolutionizing our understanding of the universe. Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955, stands as one of the most influential scientists of the 20th century, whose groundbreaking theories revolutionized our understanding of the universe. Born in Germany to a secular Jewish family, Einstein displayed an early aptitude for mathematics and physics. His most famous work, The Theory of Relativity, challenged classical physics and redefined concepts of space, time, mass, and energy. Einstein's equation, EMK-12, became iconic, symbolizing the fundamental relationship between energy and mass. In 1921, Einstein received the Nobel Prize in Physics for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. Beyond his scientific achievements, Einstein was also a passionate advocate for peace, civil rights, and social justice. He used his prominence to speak out against racism and discrimination, becoming an outspoken supporter of the civil rights movement in the United States. Einstein's intellectual brilliance, combined with his moral courage, made him an inspiring figure for people around the world. Golda Meir, a prominent leader in the establishment of Israel. Golda Meir, 1898 to 1978, was a key figure in the establishment and early development of the State of Israel. Born in Kiev, Ukraine, Meir immigrated to the United States as a child before eventually settling in Palestine in 1921. She dedicated her life to the Zionist cause, working to establish a Jewish homeland in the region. Meir held various leadership positions in the pre-state era, including serving as head of the Jewish Agency's political department. Following Israel's independence in 1948, she served as Minister of Labor and Minister of Foreign Affairs before becoming Prime Minister in 1969. As Prime Minister, Meir faced numerous challenges, including the Yom Kippur War in 1973. Despite the initial setbacks, she led Israel through a period of significant growth and diplomatic engagement. Golda Meir's unwavering determination, political acumen, and commitment to the Jewish people made her an iconic figure in Israeli history. Her leadership style, often characterized by honesty and directness, earned her both respect and admiration. Steven Spielberg, bringing Jewish stories to the screen. Steven Spielberg, born 1946, is one of the most successful and influential filmmakers in Hollywood history. Known for his diverse body of work, which spans genres from science fiction and adventure to historical dramas, Spielberg has brought numerous Jewish stories and experiences to the screen, enriching cultural understanding and promoting dialogue. One of Spielberg's most acclaimed films, Schindler's List, 1993, tells the story of Oskar Schindler, a German businessman who saved the lives of over 1,000 Polish Jews during the Holocaust. The film received widespread critical acclaim and numerous awards, including the Academy Award for Best Picture and Best Director for Spielberg. Spielberg's commitment to telling Jewish stories extends beyond Schindler's List. Films such as An American Tale, 1986, and Munich, 2005, explore themes of immigration, identity, and the complexities of Jewish history. Spielberg's work has not only entertained audiences, but has also served as a powerful medium for exploring Jewish identity, confronting historical injustices, and promoting empathy and understanding. Conclusion: enduring legacies. In conclusion, Albert Einstein, Golda Meir, and Steven Spielberg represent just a few of the countless Jewish individuals who have made significant contributions to science, politics, and the arts. Their achievements reflect the values of intellectual curiosity, social justice, and cultural expression that have long characterized the Jewish people. Their legacies continue to inspire and shape our world, demonstrating the profound impact that individuals can have on society. Judaism and social justice. A commitment to tikkun olam. Judaism is deeply intertwined with principles of social justice, as rooted in the belief that individuals have a responsibility to care for one another and to work toward a more equitable and just society. Central to this ethos is the concept of tikkun olam, which translates to repairing the world. This principle encompasses a wide range of activities aimed at improving the human condition and confronting societal injustices. Tikkun olam, repairing the world. Tikkun olam serves as a guiding philosophy for many Jews and emphasizes the importance of taking action to address the challenges faced by individuals and communities. This concept is often associated with various forms of social activism, charity, and service, embodying a commitment to act with compassion and responsibility. The idea encourages individuals to engage in acts of kindness, promote social welfare, and work toward systemic change that uplifts marginalized groups. Throughout Jewish history, Tikkun Olam has inspired countless individuals and communities to engage in social justice initiatives. This commitment can manifest in numerous ways, from volunteer work and community service to advocacy for policies that protect the rights of vulnerable populations. By embodying the spirit of Tikkun Olam, Jews strive to contribute positively to society, align their actions with ethical teachings from sacred texts, and fulfill their moral obligation to care for others. Fighting injustice, advocacy, and equality. In addition to the notion of Tikkun Olam, Jewish teachings emphasize the importance of fighting injustice actively. From the ethical imperatives found in the Torah to the teachings of the prophets, Jewish tradition calls upon its adherents to advocate for equality, human rights, and the well-being of all people. This is underscored by the belief that every person is created in the image of God, which instills intrinsic dignity and worth. Historical experiences, particularly the long history of persecution faced by the Jewish people, have shaped a deep commitment to social justice and solidarity with other marginalized groups. Many Jewish organizations and individuals have taken prominent roles in civil rights movements, environmental advocacy, and humanitarian efforts. This dedication reflects an understanding that the fight against injustice is not only a communal responsibility, but also a personal one. Jewish activists often champion causes such as racial justice, gender equality, LGBTQ rights, and immigrant rights, reinforcing their belief in upholding the values of justice and compassion. This activism is rooted in the idea that social justice is a holistic endeavor that requires collective action and allyship, recognizing the interconnectedness of struggles across different communities. Conclusion: a lifelong commitment. In conclusion, the integration of Tikkun Olam and the relentless fight against injustice reflects a profound aspect of Jewish identity and values. Through the commitment to repairing the world and advocating for social justice, Jewish individuals and communities continue to foster compassion, equality, and resilience. This lifelong dedication to improving the human condition plays a vital role in not only enriching Jewish spirituality, but also contributing to a more just and equitable society for all. interfaith dialogue and cooperation, building bridges of understanding and collaboration. Interfaith dialogue and cooperation are essential for building a more just and peaceful world. Recognizing the richness and diversity of religious traditions, engaging in meaningful dialogue promotes mutual understanding, respect, and collaboration among different faiths. By fostering communication and cooperation, interfaith initiatives strive to break down stereotypes, address shared social challenges, and cultivate a sense of common purpose rooted in shared values. The primary goal of interfaith dialogue is building understanding between different faith traditions. This involves creating opportunities for individuals from various religious backgrounds to come together, share their beliefs and practices, and learn from one another. By fostering open and respectful communication, participants can gain deeper insights into the unique perspectives and experiences that shape different religious communities. Dialogue often manifests in organized meetings, workshops, and educational programs that provide platforms for discussion and exchange, encouraging participants to ask questions, explore theological concepts, and discuss the challenges and opportunities their respective communities face. Engaging in such exchanges allows individuals to develop a more nuanced appreciation for the diversity of religious expression and challenge preconceived notions or biases. Moreover, promoting respect is crucial to building understanding with interfaith dialogue, emphasizing the importance of valuing each person's faith journey and recognizing that diverse spiritual paths can lead to meaningful and fulfilling lives. This respect extends to acknowledging and honoring the cultural traditions, rituals, and symbols that are central to different religions. Beyond fostering understanding, interfaith cooperation involves actively working together on initiatives that address social issues and promote peace. Recognizing the interconnectedness of societal challenges, individuals and communities from different faith traditions can pool their resources, expertise, and networks to achieve common goals. Collaboration can manifest in community service projects, where joint volunteer activities allow individuals from different faiths to serve those in need by, for instance, providing meals to the homeless, building homes for low-income families, or organizing educational programs for disadvantaged youth. Interfaith coalitions can also engage in advocacy efforts, promoting policies that enhance social justice, human rights, and environmental sustainability. By speaking with a unified voice, these coalitions can have a greater impact on legislative processes and public opinion. Additionally, interfaith groups can play a vital role in peace-building initiatives by fostering dialogue, mediating disputes, and organizing programs that create environments where mutual respect and understanding can flourish, particularly in conflict zones. Through these and other endeavors, interfaith communities demonstrate the transformative power of collaboration and inspire others to join the effort to create a more just and peaceful world. Underlying the success of interfaith dialogue and cooperation is the recognition of common ground and shared values across different faiths. While each religion has its unique beliefs and practices, many fundamental values are universally shared. These include compassion, emphasizing the importance of caring for others, especially the vulnerable or marginalized; justice, focusing on the pursuit of fairness, equity, and human rights for all; peace, underlining the commitment to nonviolence, reconciliation, and understanding; service, highlighting the obligation to contribute positively to society and to alleviate suffering; and respect, recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of it. By focusing on these shared values, interfaith initiatives can build strong foundations for collaboration and overcome potential barriers created by theological differences or historical tensions. When people recognize that they share a commitment to these values, they are more likely to engage in meaningful dialogue, build trusting relationships, and work together toward common goals. In conclusion, interfaith dialogue and cooperation play a critical role in fostering a world of understanding, respect, and collaboration. By promoting communication and learning, engaging in joint initiatives, and recognizing shared values, interfaith communities can build bridges across religious divides and contribute to creating a more just, peaceful, and compassionate world for all. Through these efforts, individuals and communities from diverse faith traditions can work together to address societal challenges, uphold human dignity, and promote the well-being of the entire human family.